Today we're replacing a light fixture. I already took the old one off and began installation of a new one, but so far all I've done is take the old one out, and this is actually part of the new light fixture. It screws into the junction box. You gotta look for the hot wire, which is either black or red, depending on what kind of switch combination you have. The white wire, which is neutral. They have 3 different neutral lines coming in here, and they have a ground wire. All 3 circuits have to have a ground, so there's 2 or 3 ground wires here that are going to get attached to our ground. So that's how we have everything set up right now. This light switch, or this light, is on a dimmable switch, so we're going to have to put 3 dimmable light bulbs in here. We're using compact fluorescent light bulbs to cut down on the utility bills and to have longer lasting lights in here, but they only make certain dimmable compact fluorescent light bulbs. So we went to Home Depot and got 2 packs of 60 watt light bulbs. You can see that they're specifically labeled dimmable. Since all my wiring's complete, I'm going to cut these boxes open, screw these light bulbs in, and test the circuit before I go any further with the installation. So before we started work on this application, we shut the breaker off to make sure that there was no chance that we could get electrified. So in order to test the circuit, we're going to come into the breaker box, turn the breaker back on. Looks like we left the switch activated, so the light appears to be working. On, off, works. Let's try the dimmer. Okay, the first step to completing the rest of this installation is to make sure that the circuit is off so that there's no chance that we electrocute ourselves. We come into the breaker box, trip the breaker, see that with the light switch on there's no electricity there, so we should be perfectly safe to work on this now. This is a standard light fixture from Home Depot. It's a 3 bulb solution, 60 watt. So the important thing to note here is that these 2 little screws, which can be difficult to locate and find, actually need to come through this hole and this hole, and that can be very difficult to line up, very time consuming, but it is doable. So even though you may struggle, don't give up. Before we do that, we're going to put these electrical joints here. We're going to shove them as nicely as we can without disconnecting them back up into this box so that there's plenty of room to try to connect our light fixture to our light fixture mount. Okay, we took the light connection off the ceiling, connected this to it, put it back on. So now we just need to take this ball off. And then attach those 2 pieces to this rod. Screw this back on. This light fixture has a big frosted glass lens, and in the instructions it clearly, well, not so clearly, but it states that 1 metal and 1 silicone washer go like this on the inside of the lens cover, or the lens, with the silicone down and the metal on top. And then we're going to put 1 silicone and 1 metal washer on the outside like this, and screw the light fixture, or screw this glass shade to the fixture with this lock nut. And once that's in place, we separately install this metal surround. I'll come back when the glass shade is in place. We have screwed the lens into position as instructed. I was kind of hoping that it would go flush, not flush against the ceiling. But as we can see, there's about half an inch to an inch gap. But I guess that'll just help lighten up the room more when the lights are on. The beautiful thing about this lampshade is that it perfectly blends in with the ceiling. Without the metal surround, you wouldn't even know that that light's there. I'm going to put the metal surround on now. After just the slightest bit of bending and pulling, it fit perfectly over the lens. That is how you install a new light fixture. Final test, as always, is to turn the breaker on. The light looks beautiful, it's perfectly diffused, and the fact that it's not completely flush against the ceiling, I think actually makes it look nicer. That's full power. That's completely dimmed. Job complete.